Hello, this is Headlines Nigeria on Internet Television International. From Abuja Studios, Nigeria, I am Rachel Uwa with summaries of news, politics, business and sport. From Daily Trust newspaper, Jonathan warns army against religious bigotry. President Goodluck Jonathan has cautioned officers and men of the Nigerian army to shun all forms of ethnic and religious sentiment in the discharge of their duties. He gave the charge yesterday at this year's Nigerian Army Day celebration, which held at the Eagle Square, Abuja. Plateau government denies fresh violence. The Plateau State government yesterday denied reports of fresh violence in Riyam local government area of the state. A statement by the State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Gregory Yenlong, said there was no such incident at Ganawuri, Riyam, or anywhere else in Plateau State. Daily Independent newspaper has this caption, 1.3 billion naira fraud, EFCC to quiz Lulu Ogunjobi. Nigeria's saga in football, the beat about Sleece continued on Tuesday, with summons served on Sani Lulu by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to appear tomorrow over allegations involving 1.3 billion naira fraud. Lulu, former Nigeria Football Federation president, will be quizzed alongside former First Vice President Amanze Ujogbalum and former Technical Committee Chairman Taiwo Agunjobi. From Daily Independent newspaper, AU asks federal government to stop execution of 870 Nigerians. African Commission on Human and People's Rights and organ of the African Union has urged Abuja to stay the execution of more than 800 prisoners on death row across the country. The Commission based the plea on the allegation by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, that the government's only justification for executing the prisoners is to address prison congestion. From the Guardian newspaper, NUPENC issues deadline to government over bad roads casualization. Citing the deplorable condition of roads across the country, as well as the casualization of workers in the oil and gas sector, the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENC, yesterday issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to address the problems or risk the suspension of supply of petroleum products to Abuja. Jonathan pledges better deal for Niger Delta. President Goodluck Jonathan yesterday pledged that his administration would do all it can to rehabilitate existing roads and initiate action on new highways in order to open up the Niger Delta region for rapid development. President Jonathan told a delegation of Cross River State leaders, traditional rulers and elders led by Governor Leah Limoke at the Presidential Villa Abuja that demands for the improvement of the transportation networks in the region were genuine and legitimate and will therefore receive due consideration from the federal government. From this day newspaper, Senate panel seeks death penalty for terrorist act. Death penalty seems underway for anyone found guilty of engaging in terrorism in the country. The Senate Joint Committee on Terrorism has proposed the maximum penalty for anyone found guilty of engaging in terrorism act as against 5 years imprisonment, recommended in the bill for an act to provide measures to combat terrorism at present before the National Assembly. From the Nigerian Tribune, security beefed up in Maiduguri over Boko Haram threat. Following the rumor in Maiduguri, Borno State capital, that the Boko Haram members were planning to celebrate the first memorial of their late leader Mohammed Yusuf, who was killed last year in a police shootout, heavy security presence was witnessed on Tuesday in most parts of the metropolis. From the Punch newspaper, now broadcast stations will pay royalty to artists. Minister of Information and Communications, Professor Dora Akunyili, has urged broadcast stations, especially the ones owned by the federal government, to start paying royalties to artists whose works are used by the stations. Akunyili, who made the call at a meeting with regulatory agencies that came together to form a coalition against piracy in the country, said this would go a long way in checking the high incidence of piracy in Nigeria. From Vanguard, Jonathan wants Police Academy upgraded to degree awarding institution. President Goodluck Jonathan has asked the Senate to upgrade the Nigeria Police Academy, KANU, to a degree awarding institution. The President's request was contained in a letter addressed to the Senate President, Senator David Mack, who read it on the floor yesterday. And in politics, Nigerian Tribune, Bayelsa Speaker to be sworn in as Deputy Governor. Speaker, Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Werinipre Sebarugu, is to be sworn in as the Deputy Governor following the impeachment of Honorable Peremobowe Ebebi, the Nigerian Tribune can authoritatively reveal. From Daily Trust newspaper, party chieftain to challenge Congress results. The former chairman of the All Nigeria People's Party Adamawa State Chapter, Alhaji Yunusa Dantakarada, has vowed to challenge the results of the party's Congress held at the weekend, alleging that the process which produced the new leadership was flawed. From the same paper, Shinkafi, I will abide by Northern Governor's decision on zoning. Zamfara State Governor Mahmuda Aliyu Shinkafi said he is ready to abide by the final decision on zoning to be reached at the meeting of the Northern Governors Forum scheduled for July 22. The governor said the report credited to him that the power rotation arrangement of the People's Democratic Party is no longer feasible was based on an informal chat he had with some reporters at the Murtala Muhammed Airport who asked his personal thoughts on the issue. From this day newspaper, 2011 aspirants scramble for PDP ticket in Katsina. Ahead of the 2011 general elections, politicians in Katsina State are already jostling to have People's Democratic Party PDP tickets for various elective positions. And in business, federal government to save $10 billion signs $25 billion refineries deal with Chinese group. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has said 3 new refineries will be on stream by 2014, following a deal signed with China's State Construction Engineering Corps in May. The 3 refineries will have a combined capacity of 885,000 barrels per day and will cost $25 billion. Nigeria will also save over $10 billion annually from ending the era of imported refined petroleum products and an estimated $1 billion from the importation of fertilizers. And from Business Day newspaper, interbank lending rates double as NNPC withdraws funds from banks. The Nigerian Interbank Offer Rate (NIBOR), the rate at which banks lend money amongst themselves at the interbank market, has risen high after the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) said it was withdrawing unspecified amount of money from the banking system. Dealers were picked with the said withdrawal, knowing that the market will remain liquid in the next 8 days until the Federation Account Allocation Committee releases statutory allocation to the 3 tiers of government. And now over to sports. Punch newspaper, FIFA endorses new NFF board. The Federation of International Football Association early on Tuesday endorsed the new leadership of the Nigeria Football Federation. In a statement, FIFA said Nigeria beat the deadline to reverse its decision to withdraw from all international competitions for 2 years. Following these developments, FIFA said the NFF remains vested with all its statutory rights. FIFA to monitor Nigeria over interference. FIFA will watch for any further signs of political interference in Nigerian soccer, despite the federal government's decision to rescind its ban on the national teams from international competitions on Monday. From this day newspaper, Kalu, we need sporting national conference. Following President Goodluck Jonathan's decision to rescind the decision banning the nation from international soccer for 2 years, the pillar of sport in Nigeria, Dr. Ojuzo Kalu, is of the opinion that what we need now is a presidential national sports conference to address the problems bedeviling the games in Nigeria. Kalu, who spoke in Abuja yesterday, thanked the president for backing the beautiful game, but implored him to tackle the snag holistically. And that's it on this edition of Headlines Nigeria. Thank you for logging on.